Hi, how are you doing? I'm Ungjin. I'm from South Korea. So, 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. 라면 먹고 갈래? You can see my Korean pronunciation is very authentic, but despite that, I get this CCP agent comments so much and they tell me to go back to China, but I need a visa to visit China. I can't just go there. So, this is my visa from when I visited China. So, unfortunately, I'm not a Chinese citizen, therefore not eligible as a CCP agent. Even though I do know some Mandarin phrases because I learned Mandarin back in middle school and I learned Japanese in high school, by the way. I can say ni hao, but unfortunately, it will never qualify me as a CCP agent. And I think even though we have been opening opportunities to a lot of talented foreigners everywhere, I think some of the opportunities are and should be kept for nationals. For example, back in 2019 in Korea, nowadays we have this blind recruitment that removes personal information from the application. For example, name, age, gender, and educational affiliation, so that they can focus entirely on the applicant's skills and experience. But at the Korea Atomic Energy Research Institute, which is classified as national critical infrastructure, literally at the same level as the presidential office of Korea, they almost hired a Chinese national, which is crazy. So they later decided to decline the application. But you understand this, right? For example, the main reason SpaceX and NASA don't hire non-US citizens is because of international traffic and arms regulation, which prevents sensitive technologies related to national security from being accessed by foreign nationals. Because SpaceX technology can be exploited and used against the US.
So it's illegal to hire someone who's not an American citizen?
What SpaceX is considered an advanced weapons technology. So it's covered by international traffic and arms regulations because we make rocket technology that can be used against the United States.
It's understandable that they restrict access to US citizens or permanent residents only. So anyways, I'm Korean and therefore I don't think I can be a CCP spy. But I'll tell you an interesting story. I have some Chinese friends who have very different historical viewpoints than I do. Some friends are critical of the Chinese Communist Party and some friends support the party. But anyways, their narrative on the 1950 Korean War is that they came to liberate the communists from the foreign capitalists, but they unfortunately did not succeed and South Korea maintained its sovereignty. So they feel sorry for South Koreans that the Chinese forces could not save half of Korea from the foreign invaders, Americans, that they believe undermine the sovereignty of South Korea. For example, the movie The Battle at Lake Changjin and some other movies like that were really popular in China. The heroic battle of the Chinese soldiers to liberate South Korea, which was completely absurd from a South Korean perspective because comparing North Korea to South Korea is just unimaginable.
Is this freedom?
Yes. Over 1 million North Koreans died of starvation in that time. And in 2003, when I was 13 years old, my father became one of them.
England is heaven and North Korea is hell. It's never compared to countries.
But anyways, my Vietnamese friends had similar ideas about the Vietnam War. The Vietnamese communists had the same narrative that their own country was struggling to defend its independence and that they were struggling to avoid falling into the influence of Western countries. So the Vietnamese during the Vietnam War had the same idea. They had to liberate the people as a modified class struggle between their national identity and foreign forces to defend their autonomy. In North Korea, the reason this narrative was intensified is because Korea was under Japanese colonization for a while and anti-colonialism turned into a good ideological weapon for North Korea to establish its identity and justify its governance. So the communist historical viewpoints assert that they are fighting against foreign capitalistic systems that exploit people everywhere. They're trying to defend independence and prevent their people from being compromised by foreign capitalist encroachment. Point being, I'm not a Chinese citizen nor a CCP spy, and if I was one, I would have a lot of conflict with the historical viewpoints that I have as a South Korean. And also, I think the question itself is very strange. What spy would openly admit to being a spy? Are you a spy? And if I say yes, then sure, I admitted it. And if I say no, then you will say, I'm lying because I'm a spy. Anyways, I hope you like this video, and if you have any opinions, please leave them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.